What the weirdest thing you did while you were high? I set a hot pocket in the microwave and put in my pin number for the cook time. Still cold in the middle. Or it's molten lava. Was hotboxing and used my windshield wipers to try and clear the smoke. I just laughed so hard that my 1-year-old is laughing with me now, too. I used to go round to friends every week to watch a particular TV show and get stoned. On about the 4th week my friend started going crazy, like he'd had this sudden major epiphany. They've got the same names as us. It had been 4 episodes and neither of us had noticed the 2 main characters had the same names as us. That was proper weird. Beavis and Butthead? Rick and Morty? Ren and Stimpy? Sam and Cat? Chip and Dale? Tom and Jerry? Zack and Cody? Dumb and Dumber? Freaked out that I'd lost my iPod somewhere on the way to the train station. I got off the train and went back, retracing my steps all the way back to my apartment, only to realize that I was listening to music the whole time, on my iPod. I do that without being high. One time years ago I was camping at a campground with my wife and a few friends. We're all sitting around the fire drinking. Her brother and I go for a walk to smoke some joints. We finish that, and I have to piss, so he goes back to the group. And when I'm done I head back as well. So I get back, and I'm pretty baked at this point, and I'm just standing there watching the fire, and drinking my beer for a few minutes. I then noticed a particular Coleman lantern on the picnic table and thought to myself, I don't remember us having one of those here. It was at that point that I realized I was standing at the wrong damned campsite, amongst a bunch of people I have never met, while my group was watching from the next site over, laughing and wondering WTF I was doing. The strangers have a much scarier version of the same exact story. Tomorrow's AskReddit, what was the creepiest thing that happened while you were camping? Ordered food for delivery. Forgot. Went to grocery store for stuff to BBQ. Remembered about the food for delivery while paying in line. Did you buy the stuff anyways? Don't remember. It's been a long time. Or maybe it's only been 20 minutes and you're still waiting for your food. Spent 45 minutes looking for my glasses with my friend. Said fuck it BC I had to leave and was now running late. When I went to put on my sunglasses I smashed them onto my glasses. I had my glasses on my fucking face the whole time and neither myself or my friend noticed. That's on him. 100%. Got up to leave my bedroom and knocked on the door before opening it to go out. I was on acid at a music festival and asked a cop if he would name a hurricane after me. Fortunately he thought that was funny. This one time I was coming up morning of date to Coachella and had just gotten to the bank of lockers where our group's stuff was stored. I was reaching and reaching for the locker but just couldn't get to it and the key wouldn't go in. My friend walks up to me, grabs the key out of my hand, and I swear in one step traverses the distance of a football field and unlocks the door. Turns out the hit had just hit me like a freight train, and I was on my hands and knees in the grass about 6 feet from the locker with my arm outstretched trying to insert the key. Depth perception, man. That was a great day. I just laughed so fucking hard reading this. Thank you. I've done shrooms before, but never done acid. Eating yogurt with a fork in front of my parents. My dad waited for about 10 minutes to say that a spoon might make it easier. I just imagine a slightly disappointed look on your father's face as he leans against the counter watching you attempt this and wondering if he should say anything. One time I came back inside from a back porch smoke and put my lighter in the sink. My reasoning was I'll put it in the dishwasher later. For the millionth time back David Duchovny, if you're gonna leave it in the sink at least let it soak. As a dishwasher, this sentence hurt me. Every time I get stoned, I just want to confine myself to the smallest space possible. It's not a fear or anxiety thing. Stoned me genuinely feels more comfortable under a table or bed, or even inside a cardboard box. This one time. Are you a cat? If I fits I sits. Blew on my cereal to cool it down. Hey, you can never be too careful. Used my phone torch to find my phone in the dark. Did you find it? He's still searching, my dude. His torch died and the phone is charging now. Meanwhile he is looking with matches. completely freaked out because everyone around me was speaking a foreign language and I couldn't understand anything. Note to self, don't get high in a foreign country. Did this in Amsterdam. Not so bad, if they can speak your language and a common understanding that tourists will be high. I had a blast. Went with a bunch of friends to the Van Gogh Museum on shrooms. 10/10ths would do it again. Oh god. Dutch plus English hurts. I'm sober and when people switch between Dutch and English my brain melts, because Dutch sounds like English, but not quite. It's like listening to a Charlie Brown adult. A few years ago I was on shrooms with some friends and we went on a walk to smoke a cig. Every time I took a puff of my cigarette, I was expecting to taste Mountain Dew, and I was disappointed every time that it didn't. I quit smoking cigs a few days after that. Crazy. Mushrooms helped my friend quit smoking too. She was standing there smoking and all of a sudden just held it in front of her face, went in breathing fucking fire, and never smoked again. Psilocybin helps people quit smoking at really high rates. There's been studies on it. Not to make you feel bad, like your story is insignificant or something. Just wanted to make it known to more people. The more people that can quit smoking the better. Ate a whole bowl of cereal with a fork. Took me like 2 minutes to figure out why TF it was taking so long, and why I wasn't getting any milk. There is a guy at the match 2 rows in front of me who eats a pie with a coffee stirrer. I had an old boss eat a salad with a hair comb. Went to let the dog out, and I walked out instead, and left my dog inside. The very first time I got high, my lovely friend told me you'll know when you've had enough, so of course I smoked a ton. When I wasn't moving, it felt like time had stopped. I had no idea what was going on. If I moved though, I was completely fine. I ended up dancing to no music by myself, as long as I could, before I went to sleep. I think I went to sleep anyway. Time wasn't working. I may have just laid there for 8 hours. When I wasn't moving, it felt like time had stopped. I had no idea what was going on. If I moved though, I was completely fine. Super hot. Super hot. Super hot is the most innovative shooter I've played in years. I came home crossfaded one night, easily the most intoxicated I'd ever been. I walked into the living room and pushed the TV to the back of the table. Instead of the couch I sat down where the TV used to be and stared at the couch silently, alone, and in the pitch black darkness for at least 30 seconds before saying out loud, "So this is what it's like to be a TV." I realized then I'd had way too much and went to bed before I hurt myself. Did you actually go to bed, or did your couch just change the channel? Fucking chill, man. That was way too deep. Deep enough to find some change in the couch. Be the change you want to see in the couch. I stared at ants outside for a solid hour and a half, just going about their business. I'm not too fond of insects sober, but when I'm high they're so goddamn interesting. I did this once with fish. Sat by the side of a river and spaced the fuck out looking at this one fish that was chilling out. Very calming. I thought that if I became rich, I'd keep all my money in pennies to prevent people from stealing it. Also once tried roasting a hot dog with no stick, just holding the wiener in my hand over an open flame. It did not work. It didn't work cause you didn't try hard enough. It's not that weird, but I get really weird sensations when I'm high. Other people probably get it too, but I just don't know how to describe it. But one time I was just rubbing my leg a little, because I was cold, and my friend was sitting next to me. So then I was like, well, I can feel my hand and I can feel my leg. I wonder if I can feel hers. So I rubbed her leg, and was like, wow, I can't feel it, and I didn't really understand why. My friend just laughed at how stupid I was. LMAO. That's happened to me before. I'm not a fan. I was thinking about how great my friends are and how pretty they are, and decided I should talk to myself like that too. So I tried on all these clothes I feel self-conscious in, and gave myself a bunch of compliments. This is adorable. Did it help? It really did. Got high, ate a bunch of jalapeno poppers. Not that weird. No, the weird part was the calendar appointment I made for myself the next morning that just said ha 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 ha. Jaime apparently predicted the right time for my morning bowel movement, and as those little jalapeno poppers burned again on the way out, he reached out across time and space to laugh at sober me about it. I love when high/drunk selves do stuff like this. I started to get random sensations all over my body. The inside of my left thigh was getting really warm, and I had to keep checking every few minutes to see I hadn't pissed myself. I've had this. I got really bad anxiety that I'd pissed my pants being sat on my friend's chair. I went upstairs to the bathroom to check like 4 times just to be sure. In no particular order, woke up to the remote control for the TV inside of the fridge from the night before. Let you out of autoplay for so long that I was eventually watching fire truck drag racing and everyone's favorite. Watched hours upon hours of the Yule log TV show with my friends. So much that we knew when the hand was going to come into the scene to move the logs around. Everyone leaves this thread to search for fire truck drag racing. Bought fresh fish at the wholesale fish market when you've been partying all night until dawn and you see silver people in action. The fish market is really fascinating when you wake up the next morning afternoon and thirst lets you open the fridge and you see a load of silvery eels. You cannot really relate to that fascination anymore. Lol, I wouldn't even know what to do with a bunch of eels. I ate mushrooms by myself and some guy dropped off pizza at my house, so I signed for it. Only thing is, I didn't order any pizzas. My boyfriend came home and said you ordered pizza? It had been sitting on the table for hours. I thought I dreamt it. Whoops. The guy came to the very wrong house. But I did tip him handsomely, so I did the right thing. This should just be a commonplace business idea in Colorado. Take a few extra pizzas around town knocking on smoky college house doors at closing, getting a decent tip, and they don't even remember they ordered one. I was living on my own in an apartment for the first time, and one of my first investments was a sheet, 100 doses, of acid. I was gobbling them up at an insane rate. Tolerance builds pretty quickly to acid, so by this point I wasn't seeing acid Y things anymore, but I was thinking acid Y thoughts. Like for instance, I wasn't taking trash out because I thought my building would see me hauling out a bunch of trash bags and think, that dude's got a lot of trash. He's a dirty dude. And that then they'd either kick me out or call the police on me. So I opted instead to let the trash pile up around me. I also thought I was going to be a writer for The Simpsons. Anyway, it all came to a head about 2 months into my heavy acid use. In about 8 weeks I had eaten about 80 tabs of acid. I was feeling pretty fried, and I was trying to make myself some pancakes. I had this plate that was covered in pancake batter and I thought, man, fuck this. I gave up and threw the batter covered plate into the dishwasher and turned it on. I heard click click gurgle gurgle gurgle. I walk over to check and find that I've broken the absolute shit out of my dishwasher and now there's black water pooling up at the bottom of it. The new paranoid thought was that my building would charge me to replace the dishwasher. I was freaked out until I had a master stroke of genius. What if, I thought, I just throw away all my dishes? What? Asked the last rational part of my brain, to which acid brain responded, hear me out, hear me out. Here's the plan. Step 1. We throw away the dishes. Then, when the apartment building asks, did you break your dishwasher? I can get real indignant and say, what? Break my dishwasher? You fools. I don't even own dishes. And then I throw away all my dishes. That was several years ago, and I still haven't replaced all of them. Jesus Christ dude, are you better now? In a lot of way, yes I am, and I wasn't exactly doing bad when that happened. I had a bunch of free time. I wouldn't live like that again, but it was a blast. Fuck man, your internal dialogue of acid brain is so spot on. I went through a period of time living on my own and just dosing consistently every couple of days. It's a wild and wacky way to live. Here's hoping you can one day you'll be flush with dishes, hahaha.